Let's be honest. You've been told that women fall for looks, for money, for charm. You've been told that attraction is a game that you need to act cool, play hard to get, and never show too much interest. But deep down, you've seen through that lie. Because you've done everything right once before you cared. You showed up, you were kind, and somehow, she still lost interest. She said, "You're a nice guy," and it felt like a knife dressed as a compliment. You lay there at night, staring at the ceiling, wondering, what do women really want? Why does she light up for one man, smile differently, breathe differently, melt in his presence, and yet remain distant with another who treats her better? The truth is, she can't explain it. She feels it. Attraction isn't logic, it's chemistry, energy, emotion. It's the way your silence makes her heart race. The way your presence pulls something wild and feminine out of her soul. You felt it before sitting beside her at a cafe. A soft silence filling the space between you. It's not awkward. It's electric. She laughs at something small, her guard drops, and for a moment, she's just real. But that energy is fragile. One wrong move, too eager, too nervous, too much, and suddenly the spell breaks. You see her retreat behind invisible walls. You start wondering, what did I do wrong? The truth? You didn't do anything wrong. You just didn't understand the hidden language of attraction, the one women never speak, but every part of them responds to. They don't fall for logic. They fall for a feeling. When you can create that feeling, safety, excitement, dominance, mystery, she can't stop thinking about you, even if she doesn't understand why. Attraction isn't performance, it's energy. It's not about pretending to be someone else. It's about becoming the kind of man whose silence speaks louder than words. The kind of man whose calm, grounded energy makes her feel something ancient and familiar. When she's emotional, frustrated, or even testing you, most men panic, they talk too much, try to fix everything. But the man who stays still, who listens, who doesn't get swept into her storm, that's the one she softens for. Because your calm becomes her safety. Psychology calls it emotional containment, the ability to hold space for someone's emotions without losing your center. That stillness, that peace is magnetic. It's not about control, it's about presence. When you become the mountain, her storm runs out of power. There's also a kind of silence that speaks louder than words. The unspoken tension. It's when you look at her just a little longer than necessary, when your energy says, "I see you," without needing to prove anything. Women feel energy more than they process logic. When your gaze says, "I want you, but I don't need to rush it," she feels both safe and desired, a rare combination that drives her wild. That's the quiet fire every confident man carries, the one that doesn't shout but whispers, "I'm in control of myself." Desire doesn't grow in chaos. It grows in the spaces between words, in the pauses that make her heartbeat skip. It's also in the small, intentional touches. The brush of your hand against hers, the gentle guidance as you walk through a doorway, the way you lean in to listen, not to invade, but to connect. These touches don't shout desire, they whisper it. Psychologists call it anchoring, connecting a feeling to a touch. When your touch is calm, grounded, and respectful, her body registers something deeper, safety. And when she feels safe, her guard drops, allowing her desire to rise naturally. Every intentional touch becomes a reminder of how she feels when she's near you. But none of this matters if you lack direction. Because a man without purpose can't create lasting attraction. Women aren't drawn to perfection, they're drawn to direction. When you're chasing something bigger than validation, when your actions come from purpose instead of ego, she feels it. It's written in your presence, your discipline, your decisions. Psychologists call this self-determination, the drive that comes from within. A man with purpose radiates power because he doesn't need attention to feel complete. He moves with clarity, and that steadiness draws her in. She can trust a man who knows where he's going. That's why your mission, not your appearance, not your words, becomes your greatest aphrodisiac. And finally, mystery. The kind that doesn't play games but leaves space for discovery. You don't reveal everything at once. You let her explore you layer by layer. You're open, but not overexposed. You're kind, but not desperate. Confident, but not arrogant. See, the female mind is wired for emotional curiosity. When she can't quite figure you out, she invests more energy in understanding you. That's attraction built through psychological intrigue. You become the story she can't stop reading, not because you're trying to hide, but because you're deep enough to keep revealing. Mystery isn't about secrets. It's about depth. And every new layer she uncovers keeps her coming back for more. Attraction, in its purest form, isn't about pretending. It's about remembering. Remembering who you are beneath all the noise, the grounded, stable, passionate version of you that doesn't chase, doesn't perform, and doesn't beg for attention. When you embody calm presence, unspoken tension, intentional touch, purpose-driven energy, and quiet mystery, you stop trying to impress her. You simply become the kind of man she can feel. The one who doesn't just spark desire but respect. And that's the foundation of true attraction. A woman might forget what you said or what you did, but she will never forget how you made her feel. If you can be the man who brings peace to her chaos, adventure to her calm, and mystery to her certainty, she'll never stop being drawn to you. Because attraction isn't a choice. It's an awakening. She can't explain it. She just feels it. And when your energy speaks louder than your words, you'll never have to convince her of your worth. She'll feel it in her bones. If this message hit something deep inside you, don't let it end here. Hit like, drop a comment below with the move that resonated most, and subscribe for more emotional and psychological insights just like this. Because you don't need to learn how to impress women, you just need to remember how to be a man worth feeling.